do, but like the first time I went, it was like they just said I had big breast tissue. And then I went and they said the caffeine contributed to all of the lumps. Caffeine, you drink coffee a lot.
Yeah.
You had raised your head up quick.
That's what I was like, wait a minute, like my whole life is dedicated to not eating healthy and having caffeine to make it compensate.
They told me caffeine make your breast lumpy. Caffeine. But so that was the second time, and they didn't find anything, but I found a lump. And that was when I made 40. So.
It's okay. Normally, how people want to talk.
Yeah, big time.
How long y'all been doing the podcast?
A year and a half, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
2 years, damn.
1 year with me, 1 year.
Wow. 2 years.
I remember when y'all was starting.
Did you do Lincoln Radio Communications?
I was in journalism.
Okay. Excuse me.
Hey, everybody. No.
Just kidding.
I hate you, Marie.
Oh my God. Baby.
Sorry. You were just kidding.
Think about what was my initial doctor's name. I can't think about his name. You say his name all alive, so they can know not to go get it.
No, not to.
He told me
So people
can.
No, you didn't mess my ear, so my bad. Defamation case. Why? It sounded the same.
We look like the sisters from Brown Family.
Should have put on a black shirt. Looking all slim and petite and stuff. Yeah,
Please, that's the best seat. I'm kind of like, we need to
I
move.
know.
I'm over it.
I don't like that one. That's why I got this one.
Yeah.
This one.
Every time I sit in, it just emphasizes what I heard. Jeez.
Go, girl.
Hello, and thank you guys for tuning in to 30 Something Podcast. I'm your host, Lisa. And to the right of me, we have Miss Marie. And then we have our super producer, Kamiko, behind the camera. And we are joined by our wonderful breast cancer survivors, Miss Kavaca in the black, and LaQuisha in her breast cancer pink. Guys, if y'all want to know who to blame for the pizza tattoo, pizza tattoo is LaQuisha.
So you, any reason
She was with me. No, she was with me when I got the tattoo, and
It was not her idea.
it was my idea,
Well,
but
she
she
supported
cheered me on. She supported me. She held my hand that one little moment when I was about to start crying.
That was more than a moment, bro.
Okay, we're not gonna tell everybody. However, this is the person for y'all to blame, guys. So tonight we have a special show where we are just diving in tonight and talking to our breast cancer survivors about their journey with breast cancer, healing, and survival. And then a little bit later on, we will get into our what now topics with the Greenville shooting that the Texas A&M Commerce students were involved in, and y'all's girl, Summer Walker, and her unhealthy hygiene. And the great decision from NCAA to allow college students to use their likeness and get paid for it. So let's get into our breast cancer discussion. So Kavaca and Quisha are young women actually who were diagnosed with breast cancer. So guys, how old were you all when you were diagnosed with breast cancer?
Well, thank you for inviting me on the show, first of all. I know she thought I was maybe a little bit younger than I am. I'm 40. So I got diagnosed 2 months ago. Well, in June. On June the 19th is when I found out. And it's supposed to have been a day that we were liberated. And that's when I found out that I had this stigma on me. But yeah, so that was when I found out.
And I'm currently 35. I was 25. No, 26 when I found out. Somewhere like that, y'all. 20 something.
So she was definitely young. And is it like a stigma that breast cancer is more so looked at as an older woman's or middle-aged woman's disease?
It is.
It is.
It is. Going through chemo, radiation, all the cancer treatments and everything, I was pretty much the only young person in there. It was older people of another race.
Yeah, with me, I declined. I actually declined the chemotherapy and the radiation treatments. I paid attention to my body. So when I found my lump and when they diagnosed me, that was the first thing that they come to you with, when you want to start chemo, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I took it upon myself to tell them, no, I don't want to do chemo. Luckily, it was found at a low stage. I was stage 1.
Okay.
So
which is a blessing.
Yes.
It's not a blessing, but it's definitely a blessing.
Yes. But see, even before that, I was living a healthy lifestyle, eating right. I was a gym rat. I'm in the gym faithfully, like I miss it right now. But being that, it kind of made me, it made me kind of question the fact of how am I getting it anyway, because I'm doing all that I'm supposed to be doing. How I end up with this,
Right.
So it kind of confused me. But anyway, I made up my mind. I'm not doing chemo or radiation.
How did your doctors feel about that decision?
Well, I mean, I had a lady doctor, and she didn't try to force anything on me. She pretty much knew from my strength first straight out that, she couldn't force anything on me. So she just gave me the rest of my options.
With you
Which
being stage 1 and finding a lump,
That
I'm
would be
just
last
guessing
resort.
they just kind of removed it and went from there.
mhm.
Was it not spreading anywhere else at the moment?
Well, I had to go through the testing for them to find out, how aggressive it was or not. So I went through the blood testing, and they tried to get me to do the genetic testing, and I refused that because I'm the first one of my family to have gone through this. No one else, no other woman, male in my family ever has been diagnosed with breast cancer. So that was something else. I was like, you have that question in your mind, like, why me? You know, but being that all that came into, into one, I just, and the healthy lifestyle I was living, I just felt like I didn't need to do no chemo or no radiation or anything like that. So
But that can sometimes be like the worst thing, depending on where your stage is. So that like to go that
Yeah.
route, that would be kind of drastic. And then sometimes too, those are things that actually harm you more than the actual cancer itself.
Absolutely, and that's the outlook I have on it. The treatment is worse than the disease at times, especially being that mine was only at stage 1. To take myself through the chemo and the radiation, it would have diminished my immune system worse than the cancer was doing. Because I felt fine, I just felt the lump, so.
And I'm the complete opposite. She's stage 1, I was stage 4. It was
Wow.
already spreading through my body, so it's
So
like I had to jump on the chemo bandwagon to live. So.
And I'm sure that was like terrible experience because even now technology hasn't caught up. Where like aren't they poking and there's either they're sticking stuff in you or you're getting like an IV or something to that effect.
You actually go in the operating room, they cut your chest open, stick a little port in there where they can do the chemo. Just kind of, I guess, kind of has a magnetic attraction with the needle in there. So they stick it in there, and that's how you get your chemo whenever you go get your treatments and everything. And it stays in there until after you're completely done. And then you go back to the OR, get your chest cut open again, they take it out, and voila, you're over.
So LaQuisha, like she told us, she was 25 when she was diagnosed. Kind of share with us like your experience of getting diagnosed because you kind of had a difficult time even getting a diagnosis, right?
I did. And initially, I had heavy breasts, and I just kind of felt something wasn't right. Just your woman intuition. So I'm there one particular day, laying in bed, laying on my back, and they're just there. And it felt different that day. It looked a little different, and it's like, I don't know about this. And I was telling one of my homegirls, it's like, I think I should go to the doctor. I didn't feel sick or ill or down or anything. I just felt like something wasn't right. So I went to my doctor and had my regular physical examination. I didn't open my mouth and say anything. You're the doctor. I let him check me out. And I was assuming he was going to say something to me, but he did the full exam, breast exam, everything, didn't say anything. So now that we're done, I'm like, well, I kind of feel like something is wrong with my left breast. You didn't feel anything, or was it not odd to you? And the dude was like, no, feels like everything is
And
perfectly
he was
fine.
like, "You're 25. You have
He
nothing to do."
Dude,
He like,
He was
okay.
excited because
The
he had
dude.
big breasts. He was like,
The dude.
"Oh, it felt good
So
to me."
I expressed my concerns, and I let him know I really feel that something is not quite right. And he really assured me everything was perfect. So I got dressed and I left. But I just knew that I knew that I knew something wasn't right. So maybe a week or so later, I went back and I was like, I had my exam and everything, but I want to set up a mammogram. And they was kind of like, little girl, that's how they're looking at me because you're just 20 something years old. You don't need a mammogram. Just get out of here. Everything is right. And I was like, I don't want my doctor to prescribe me or tell me, okay, she needs a mammogram. I'm telling you, this is what I want. And they were telling me no. And I said, well, I don't know if it's an insurance thing or whatever. I'll pay out of pocket. I don't know why you guys are telling me no. It's like, well, no, you don't need a mammogram until you're over 40 or all this type of stuff. Your insurance won't
I
cover
might get mad.
it.
Listen, like, bitch, you was trying to give me a
Yeah.
mammogram.
Right.
And all of this, and my doctor's office refused everything. I said, well, can you refer me to somewhere else where I can get this procedure done and they pretty much just shut it down. So
Oh,
that's
you
when
should
all
have
the bigger corporations come in. You think Susan G. Komen and the mobile mammograms and all of these people will reach out to you and help you. Every place I went, I think I went to 9 different places, and they all turned me down because of my age or because they were saying insurance
Wow.
would not cover it. I'll pay for it out of pocket. I don't want to depend on the insurance. If the insurance is a factor, they still told me no. And I ended up calling Presbyterian Hospital on Walnut Hill, and I finally got a yes.
Good.
How long was that? Like that process?
I started that in April. I didn't actually get a yes until I think June. No,
Do you like?
June or July. It was months later.
That's just.
And it was all based on.
And then to
just
be
the
stage 4,
feeling.
that just.
You didn't feel any? Did you feel something? You know, because they tell you to check your breast all the time and see if you feel something that feels different. Did you feel anything different, or was it just intuition?
It was 90% intuition, and since I, just felt like I felt something, it was making me feel something. It's like, man, it's
Right.
something right here. It's something, and I would ask everybody, like, touch me right here, like it's something here. So I really felt like it was something there, but again, my doctor touched and felt and did the exam and assured me everything was fine.
And thank God for your intuition, or you wouldn't be here to even tell the story.
Exactly. And I
That's
get
the
And
fear
not
is
at
through
stage
the
4, because
nose.
that even all that time spent trying to just
It
get
was
someone to
spreading.
see me, it was just getting worse and getting.
And worse and worse and worse until I got to Presby. They gave me a yes. And as soon as I went in and got the mammogram, they treated me different. So, you come in as a patient, oh, have a seat, da 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 da. Then after I got the mammogram, you sit back out there. It's like, do you have any children? Everything's gonna be okay.
Right.
How you feel? It's like, well, damn, is it cancer or not?
Like,
I already know that.
It's like, what are you saying?
And
Right.
they let me know by their actions. I got like nurses coming in asking me different questions, different doctors coming in asking me all kinds of questions. I was like, I know that that's what it is. And it's like, well, they let me know they see a mass and they see this, so we're going to bring you back in for a biopsy. Okay. So I went back a few days for the biopsy. And, they take them all from under your arm here, just all up in this area in your breast. Every biopsy they took was positive. So I was like, okay, what's next? And me being a stage 4 and it's already spreading everywhere, I had no choice but to do the chemo. So I started on chemo like after they got the results back from the biopsy. They didn't want to wait until they could fit me in the operating room and schedule me, and they started the chemo through IV the next day.
They had to.
I had to.
Wow. Well, I commend you for persevering through all those no's. Because, it kind of seems as though they wanted you to, just stop at what they said. You know what I mean? First off, but kudos to you for pushing.
And that's definitely a problem for African American women with healthcare.
Period.
Is we're oftentimes told it's nothing. We don't know what we're talking about. We're challenged, and we become considered the angry Black woman once we kind of try to take a stand for our healthcare. So I mean, did you go back and bam to the doctor? I would have. You see this right there? I would have
pursued some type of grievance for that.
So when I got set up with my team and my doctors and everybody at Presbyterian, doctors have their own way of connecting and chatting. So this MD puts notes in this particular system, another doctor can see it. Mm-hmm. So she wrote it up exactly how I stated it, which, what am I lying for? And he came back and tried to rebuttal. That's not how it happened. That's not this. Dude, you delivered my kid. You've been my doctor all this time.
Right.
I've been going to you for years. Why did you not help me? And if you felt like it was nothing and I felt like it was something, and I'm saying
he still should have gave you a
purchase
referral.
my own mammogram.
Right.
It doesn't have to go through the insurance if you're saying insurance is not going to cover due to age. He just kind of put me out. It's like, no, you don't need the help. So I don't know how to feel about that, and I just kind of let it go because I was focusing on, now I know I have cancer. What is my next step? So
Kavaca, I know you had a rare form of breast cancer you were diagnosed with. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, the type I had was called ductal carcinoma, which it was basically in the duct in my milk ducts. That, like, say for instance, if I was to breastfeed, where the milk comes from, that's where the cancer was in my breast. And I got, I don't know what type of mastectomy did you get?
A double mastectomy, both boobs cut off.
And they couldn't save your breast. I mean your nipples.
No.
You never did. You even like, cause I had the chance to research. Okay, like they scheduled me one surgery date, and I went and met with my plastic surgeon, my reconstructive surgeon, and I told him that I wanted him to make my breast match. You know, because there's like I didn't want to look in the mirror and be reminded. You know,
we've been having conversations.
Oh,
Sorry about that, because we kind of look, because we've been having conversations about mismatched breasts.
I wanted mine. I still
I'm like mine.
We have
mine on me.
So he didn't make me feel confident that he could do that. So I backed up and I canceled my first surgery, and it gave me time to be able to research more about, you know, what I was going through, my mastectomy, because I really felt rushed. You know, I wanted it plucked out, but at the same time, I wanted it done right.
Do you think being at stage 1 kind of gave you more of a moment where you could kind of really be a little more patient, research, and make the best decision?
I feel like you can, and
then
you can't,
because
you still feel like
I didn't know
cancer.
what to expect. I never had cancer, so I did not know what to expect.
And you never know how rapid it's going to be or anything. All you know is you got cancer.
Scary.
Right.
You know, I wanted it immediately plucked out, but at the same time, I wanted it done right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like oftentimes, you know, they take our culture of people and just kind of rack them and stack them. You know what I'm saying? Right. Instead of doing us with precision and finesse. And that's what I wanted.
Whether we have money or not, they still treat us the same. Like, we have the highest mortality rate at birth. And then the funny part is we're big advocates on anti-abortion, but we don't realize most of us die on the table every day giving birth. Major.
Yeah.
We're the number one, and we could have money or not.
Yeah, it's always one. But so, you know, I had a chance. I backed up and I did some research, and I was researching mastectomies. So, my case was a little, you know, like it was a stage 1, so it wasn't as aggressive. So I looked at these Caucasian ladies on the YouTube channel, you know, YouTube videos that were getting these nipple sparing methods. Mm-hmm. So I looked into it a little deeper, and I'm like, why don't they present this to everybody who can have it? Right. You know, like my doctor didn't even come to me with the option of it. I had to literally research it myself and find out about it. You know, and I feel like that's something that only they hide from our culture of people.
Right.
You know, they just want
because even though you're a human being, I still want to feel like a woman. When I look at myself in the mirror, that may seem cosmetic to you, but it also gives me peace of mind.
It makes me still feel whole in a sense, you know. So I researched that, and I came to my doctor about it. I'm like, you know, I want the nipple sparing method. And she, you know, and I it definitely would depend on the type of cancer you have. Now, if you have a really aggressive cancer that's spreading, you know, like baby, but, you know, it probably wouldn't have been a good option for her, you know. But at the same time, at least one breast, you can, you know what I mean, do it with some precision, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, if you didn't find it in one breast, like they went through my nipples and they took my breast tissue out of both breasts, you know. So even if it's just found in one breast of one lady, you can still do the other breast with some precision, you know. So I ended up getting the nipple sparing method, and I still have my nipples.
Versus you got a double or just one side?
A double, because I didn't want to be revisited with that same situation again.
And neither one of you have had a situation where you were revisited at all?
I have been revisited.
I have a girlfriend that was like, she got diagnosed with Tourette's and she was revisited 3 times.
Wow.
I didn't have cancer again, but I did get the double mastectomy and got, you know, the expanders and breast implants and everything. On my cancerous side, my wounds will not heal. There was no oxygen, no blood flow. All this whole side is dead. So after the surgery and I'm stitched up, my stitches would not heal. You remember seeing that picture on Facebook? It was just a nasty open scar, and it never healed. It never healed. It never healed. And after we got it healed, you do the nipple reconstruction because yes, you want to look like a woman. You want to be cute. You don't want to look all ill-formed when you take your shirt off. You know. So I did my nipple reconstruction, and the nipple pretty much just rotted. It was just like an open, nasty scar. So I had to again go in, have emergency surgery, get that implant taken out, cut the whole part out where they made the nipple, get that part to stitch up and close up successfully. And it's like, oh, we can go back in, bro, just leave it alone. So on this side, it's pretty much just blah. On this side too, though, but it looks a lot better than this side. And I did the double because I was so huge. The implants, it was not gonna look to par. It wasn't gonna. This one's gonna be all cute and normal, and this one's gonna look like just an old phony. It wasn't gonna match up to the triple D on this side. So it's like, just take them both and make a match, make me look normal in my clothes. But even now, just like in a bathing suit or something, you can clearly tell this boob is way down here, and this is like a teardrop implant. This one was a teardrop implant, but going through all that other stuff, and it was emergency surgery. We're just going to use whatever implant we have in the office. We don't have time to order you anything else. So this side, there's scars all across here, scars all up under here because I was cut here, and then cut down the side over here. So this whole side is kind of scarred up and looking tacky.
In your clothes, I can't.
You can't
I can't tell.
Girl, I can show you if you want.
And she said, "I'll
I'm
come
like,
with
this
out
really,
anymore."
I'm like, this breast a little true. No, make you feel
But
that
I can't
all eyes is
tell when
lopsided.
your
We
clothes
discovered
right
the sapphire.
I have on a lot of clothes though, but
You have on a lot.
I do. I get really cold with the chemo. It threw off my iron. It never got back to where it's supposed to be normally. And this, anybody can see it's not gonna take it all. I'm not gonna take it all the way off.
I'm like, dang,
be
it's
that
gonna make me have
But-
to show look.
But you can see now, like this one is swooped down,
Up,
and
down,
this one is
down,
normal,
below.
kind of up.
Oh,
Yeah, you can't.
And you can
tell
see
what
all the
it is.
scars up in here.
Yeah.
And I won't show those. I'll show y'all off the thingy, but you can just tell that one is.
mine is like, well, a little similar to that now. Like
Wow.
this one is teardroppy, and
That's
this one is not
transparency.
matching as much yet. But I have to go because I have the expanders in right now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So do you got the, what do you call it, the drainage tubes and all
Well,
that?
that was like 10 days out right after my surgery. I got those out like in 2 weeks.
See,
that
I
shit-
kept
oh
those
my
things
God.
forever. They were very uncomfortable.
Oh, I think that was
What are y'all talking
the
about?
most. Oh, sorry. You over here vibing. But it was the drainage tubes. Like after you get your mastectomy, and because did your plastic surgeon come in? Was it like at the same time your surgeon did, and then your plastic surgeon came right behind us? So yeah, it was like a same time deal with your cancer surgeon and your reconstructive surgeon. They work hand in hand when you get your mastectomy. So they come in. The cancer surgeon comes in, does the mastectomy, take your breast tissue out. Your reconstructive surgeon comes in after and put the expanders in. So the expanders are just used to keep your skin stretched or inflated, so that and so that your skin can stretch.
Right.
With any of those surgeries, breast cancer, anything, you have body fluid that leaks. Even if you cut yourself, you're like leaking. So with breast implants or having a mastectomy, you're having all this fluid that's trying to drain out of these incisions, and then all of your tissue is gone. So your body wants to fill that space with something.
Right.
So you're constantly leaking stuff out. So there's these little tubes. I call them chicken pot spots. I had maybe 3 tubes on this side, and they just drain all the fluid, and you pour it out all day.
And you're responsible for that
Yes.
part of it.
Yes. So you have to kind of. Luckily, I work in the healthcare field. I've seen it before. Even though they had to reiterate how to do it, but Yeah, it's not really for the faint of heart. It's bodily fluids leaking. How did you do with yours?
I did well with it. I too work in the healthcare field, so I take my little safety clip. I try to wear a sweater or something. I clip it on there, or whatever, and I didn't have too many problems with that. The only thing I had an issue with that kind of put me under was when I was going through the unhealing wounds and everything, and I was in Walmart getting some stuff for the house, gonna make some dinner, and it just
She can cook, y'all. I just want y'all to not eat
not
her
the tubes or anything, but the actual incision itself burst.
Wow.
So I had all this stuff just leak, and I had me and Jimmy went to a concert that day, and I had on all white, and it all leaked.
Not
it
anymore.
all leaked down.
Thankfully.
So I'm in Walmart, feeling crappy, looking hideous, and it just. Whoosh. And I didn't know, like, do I need this Fabuloso that bad? Do I stay alive?
Wow. So let's switch gears really quick, because I think it's important to share that during this time, both of you guys were mothers. I know LaQuisha was not just a mom to her daughter Heaven, she's also a caregiver to her grandfather. So kind of share with the viewers like the experience of going through, your diagnosis, trying to heal, and still being mom or caregiver.
I'll go first. And for the most part, you couldn't be what you were used to being. I could not be mom 100% of the time. I was probably mom 10% of the time. And I found myself, calling friends, or hey, can you keep her this week? And luckily I have decent friends that will say, oh, I got you. And it's like I have my cousin, hey, can you braid her hair? I couldn't anything that had to do with doing something with this arm or anything, I couldn't put the ponytails up. I couldn't do anything. On some of the days where I thought I felt good enough to do something, I fell out a few times. And where I live in conjunction with Charles Rice, I attempted to walk up there one day, fell out. My daughter had to help me up. So I could not be that mom that I was used to being. And I didn't want her to see me not being mom.
Right.
So I had no choice but to, okay, baby, go over here, go with your friend Cortayla now, or go over here with your cousin.
Did you struggle with that at first, though?
I did struggle with that because I take single mama to a whole nother level. It's just me. There is no other person who's gonna take on this responsibility. So again, I'm blessed to have the friends that I did have and still do have that assisted me with that. As far as my grandfather, I did the best I could. On the days that I felt well, I would cook, a whole week and a half worth of meal and like meal prep for him and already have it there, because I know once that chemo hit, it's just like dying. You can't do anything. I have used the bathroom on myself because I was too weak to even get up and go to the bathroom. So I know I couldn't go in here and wash clothes. I couldn't go in here and cook a meal, let alone even get up and take my own child to school. I had to give my responsibilities away and just pray that, everything worked out well.
Speaking of that, so that does, so you did identify as a Christian. I was going to wonder how did you lean on spirituality? Like what was, because I know at the same time, some days it's not in your control. So what did you do?
I guess I identify myself as a Christian and everything. And that helped too, but I can't say I just went into my prayer closet because that was not on my mind at the time. Mm-hmm. It was not on my mind, but I remember one time my daughter had to put it on my mind. And I was hurting, I was crying, I was having a moment, and she came to me, little toddler, and she said, Mama, why don't you go to church? And I said, baby, why? And she said, because you're sick. And I said, well, Heaven, why wouldn't I go to the doctor if I'm sick? She said, Mama, you just need to go and whisper to God, and He's going to heal you. And I was like, well, go on and put me back in my place. Because you go through things and you ask yourself, okay, well, Jesus, you got all this power. Why are you giving this to me? If my life has been pre-planned. Is this how you wanted me to do? I mean, this is
You
what
have
you
more
got for
questions
me?
than anything.
You
You're kind
know,
of like, why
so
me?
my
Why this?
faith
Why
was
that?
very wavering at the moment.
Of
But
course.
that little girl, she put me back where I needed to be.
And I know a little more about LaQuisha's story, and she lost her brother, you know, at a young age. She's cared for her grandfather, and so just to see her go through, you know, cancer and that, and just see her come out still strong, still, you know, being who she is. That's, I mean, I just, it's amazing, really, just to, because a lot of people would have broke, you know, with everything that she's experienced, but she has just persevered and kept going.
So what do you, if it wasn't your spirituality or your faith, what would you attribute it to? Being strong, being able to push through this, and you still have a beautiful, like, you still seem happy, you're smiling when you came in, you had a wonderful spirit. What would you attribute it to?
My daughter in life. Just like I said, no, I feel like I have someone who's dependent on me. If I'm gone, what's going to happen to my daughter? There is not another soul that is going to love her like me, that's going to take care of her like me. And then I'm here for a reason. I am not finished, Jesus, so I got to make it through this. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people, they take a diagnosis and they jump in the grave. Right. And I just feel like, I tell people that all the time, you are not your diagnosis. You're not your cancer. I'm not my cancer. You're not whatever disease you're battling. You have to take it and deal with it and overcome it. And I felt like I wanted cancer to be easy. And although my story probably seems drastic, oh, you were stage 4, oh, you had just a 16 to 20% chance of survival, I want to let everybody know that it wasn't as hard as people make it out to be. You have to have the right mentality, and you can't be sick. You know how you'll get diagnosed, oh, you okay? How you feeling? It's like, please get off my phone with all of that. Don't send me those kind of text messages. I'm not trying to hear that. I don't want to be that sick person. So I think, to me, it's more of your mentality.
It's like you want support, but not pity.
Right.
So it's like, I want to be supported, but not in that way. We're just...
Right. And you have to have that mentality for yourself. You can't have these thoughts in your mind, oh, I'm sick. Oh, I got cancer. Oh, what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep on living.
Yeah, because the mind does have a lot of control, too.
Your mind does. Well, mine in particular, I speak for self, you know, because once the healing starts, it becomes a really specific mental battle. It is for me, because mine is recent. You know what I mean? I just was diagnosed this year and had my surgery in August. So I'm still like I said, I still have another surgery to go. You know what I mean? But man, but it's like it's a mental thing for me now. You know what I mean? I'm questioning, you know, my healing process, my journey. Like, you know, I still have the why questions. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I'm trying to persevere. I'm trying to, you know, stay out of my mental, but it's, I don't know. It's sometimes you need, you know, to definitely go to groups, you know, to be able to help you to band together.
Even this moment right here for you is something that can give you strength, you know, just to sit beside someone who, you know, who has survived.
Like, it wasn't nothing compared.
Well, you can call me and I can go to the doctor with you.
I would rather go eat.
and drink. If you throw a drink in there, you got
it. Do normal stuff, you know. But yeah, but on the other subject of being a single mother, my situation with mine was a little different because my daughter is 15, but it's just, you know, been me and her since she was 1, basically. And like you, I don't have that type of special, you know, financial support. Like, I've been on my job for like 3 years now, and I used to get government assistance, you know, but at this point, since I've been working, I have absolutely no help. You know, so when this diagnosis came, I have my rent, my car note, my everything I have, my human
Did
bill.
you have insurance?
She's a whole human bill. Yeah. Yeah, I do have insurance, but I still have a copay.
Yes,
Several
and it's
of them.
I've had a
because
procedure where the
everything
copay
she's
was
doing
like
is
almost
going to be a
$2,000.
special.
Yes. So
and
I
had to
have
hold
those
off months.
bills. You know, like I said, she's a
The
human bill. You
And
know,
a teenage human being. That
yes.
was really, that was like a whole you. It's a whole you. I got a 14.
friend.
Yes.
You know, but so that definitely added stress, you know, to my situation on the lines of having cancer as well. You know, so just trying to overcome that. It had been several days that she had to kind of pull me out of emotional ruts. You know, I remember one day, you know, I got in way down in my feelings, and I was basically about to plan a damn funeral to my child. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just
because you think all those things are running through your mind. You're like, okay, I want to be here for
I'm
stuff. I
like,
didn't plan on not being here. What if just
yeah,
because that's when your mind does want it. That's why you have to be strong
you
mentally.
know, I'm trying to tell her, you know, we riding in the car one day, and I'm just like, you know, it may come a time when I'm not here, you know what I mean, and you just gonna have to pull it together, you know. I'm telling her, but you know, I tell you what, in this whole situation, I think the only time that I seen her become emotional was when I very first told her. Other than that, she's been the strength that
I'll be your rock. She's like,
yes,
I got you.
like,
I got
seriously. Mama, you good.
I don't know who went to Charles Rice, but
Pam
Leah
Quisha went to
Nelson
Charles
says
Rice.
that you're her Charles Rice classmate, and to know your story and your overcoming is amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Hey,
absolutely.
girlfriend.
Hey,
Hey, classmate.
But yeah, it's still a battle. You know, I think it's gonna stay a mental battle as long as you know, to look back on what you've overcame. It's still something that's gonna always play in
And it's
your
still
head.
going to be still really emotional and still very inspirational, because going back to there's somebody that's going through it and they don't really know what's going to happen or what's at the other side. So to see other women being strong, they're still here. They got a story. It didn't kill me. I feel like to some degree, it's like oftentimes it's like we want everything in life to be perfect and ideal, and then it doesn't happen that way. But then keep in mind that there's people going through what we're going through, and sometimes you got to be delivered from your stuff in order for you to help somebody else.
Right.
And so oftentimes I feel like that's why we are placed in those situations, because you never know who you're going to encounter. And it's like, okay, so you didn't die. And I almost feel like, and I say that to say that oftentimes we keep so much to ourselves. So people go through all kinds of things. You have no idea. It's that iceberg effect. So you don't know what they did. All you see is this mountain, but you don't know the hell they went through. And you like, you mean this happened and that happened. You still okay? Like, you survived that? Like, yeah, like, I feel like we don't get those stories enough. We don't get those stories of I managed to make it out of this. And even though it sounds cliche, and people are like, well, you know, I went from struggle. No, but it's like people need that. People are yearning for that message that like I'm still okay. I'm still standing.
That's true.
People tell me all the time, you made it look so easy.
I
never saw you not looking pretty, or we never even know you were sick till you said something on Facebook, and you were already doing chemo and all this other kind of stuff. You still went to work and you still did this until they laid me off, and you were still just like the perfect person, and we didn't even know.
But it's like it's still.
Yeah,
and I feel like people need to see that. Like, that's what we need. We need more of that. Not to say that you deserve to go through that, but going back to like there's something still. I feel like it is so. There's good that can come from it.
The inspiration that we are. Not that we could be, but that we are to people, because people
as of
still
now,
come up.
exactly.
People come up to me all the time. I get phone calls all the time of people who I least would expect it now. I ain't gonna talk about the people who I expected to be there that wasn't. That gave me some issues too. You know, some little anger issues that I should, you know, try to get past. You know, that's another conversation for another day.
They sound like don't worry, that sound like a subject.
You know,
right? When them people.
But I have so many people come to me. Just this morning, a good friend of mine, I consider like, you know, a mother figure. She called me this morning before I went to work, and she was like, you know, I just wanted you to know that, you know, keep doing what you're doing, because it's helping me among other people, you know, that is probably helping. She just spoke for herself, but you know, she just encouraged me to keep encouraging. And it was just amazing because, you know, so many people be like, man, you inspire me. And that's my main goal, to be an inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Every time, it's like,
and I think it's
when
powerful to be inspiration while you're still going through.
Man.
Sometimes it's hard when you everything on fire and you still trying to, okay, I got water for me, I got water for you. Let's go.
Sip, sip. I take
Yes.
sip, 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 like that. Yeah.
I don't know if you all watch like TED Talks.
I do some. I have some.
Like I watch them on YouTube, but I just watched one on Sunday, and it was talking about a lady who experienced some type of cancer that was in her stomach. And she was talking about how before that she believed in a Christian ideology or spirituality that was like kind of like a prosperity. Like if you do everything right, then you will receive good. You know, if you do everything right, you won't get anything bad in life. Everything will happen. It'll be right. You live
That's
life
a quick
certain
way to run off from your faith too.
Then things will go well. But she said that after she had just married the love of her life. She had just had a baby, and she hadn't been able to have a baby. And then all of a sudden she got cancer. They called her and they said, "Okay, you have cancer." And she was like, "But I have a son." You know, that was the first thing that she thought of. And then she said that after that, what she experienced during the time that she was going through cancer was love. And while she was going through her chemotherapy and all of the cancer treatments and all of that type of stuff, what she found was love. Even in her darkest place, what she found out was that love is always there. So when you all are talking about people that come to you and say, you know, I'm watching you, I see you, I love you, I care about you, I'm hoping that you're getting better. You know, even in everything that goes on, the main thing that you still feel, even when you're going through these situations, is you learn that there's love still present, even in those darkest moments. So in you all's darkest moments, when you all felt like, you know, this maybe is something that maybe I can't handle, or maybe this is something that's going to, you know, be bigger than me, I want to know, did you all feel that same thing that this lady experienced? Because she said that that's one of the main things that helped her, is that the love from her family, her friends, or whoever cared about her, the love that she experienced was one of the things that stayed constant throughout all of it.
Well, in my situation, it came in the places that I never thought it would. Yeah, in the least expected places. People who I wasn't typically hanging out with on a regular basis, they were brought to me as my support system fully. You know, my aunt, who, you know, she's actually in the state of recovery, you know, from her, I'm sorry, y'all.
We got some
got a little something in my got a little frog in my throat. But so my aunt, she's going through her recovery stage, and she ended up being the one that was right by my side through the whole thing. It just, you find it in the least likely places. God sends you the least likely people. And the people who you thought
be there.
It's them leaves that blow off during the seasons, you know, and it's enough to make you sad, you know. But
they're gonna kick our ass. We always
that's
have sad shows. I'm
over
here like,
no, that's why I reach out to people. If someone says like, you want to come talk about breast cancer, sure. And if I see someone going through the same issue, it doesn't bother me to go and fill that void, because I know what it's like to sit there and you look around and it's just you. But I did, you know, I got showered with love from unexpected places too. You didn't go through chemo. I went through the chemo. I mean, you walk into chemo like, oh, I got this. You walk out like, hold my hand. It takes you down like that. You literally can walk in and get rolled out. Your energy is gone just like that. So I couldn't drive myself, but I have to go every week and get this procedure done. And I made a Facebook post and I was like, okay, so-and-so decided to drive me this week. by the time I took a nap and recuperated from being on chemo that particular day and got up and looked at my phone, Quisha, I'll drive you next week. I haven't even talked to you in a year. Quisha, I'll drive you the week after that. Quisha, I'll take you after that person and that person take you. Quisha, if they gonna drive you, I'll come sit with you and I can take you back. And it's like, not even people I was currently working with. It was people I might have worked with 2 or 3 jobs ago. And you'll wonder, okay, why mama not driving me? Or why so-and-so not driving me? But here comes Sarah. Here comes RC. Here comes this person. It's like, hey, I got you. So I think maybe it was a love-hate relationship that I was having with myself because I was going through this situation, and you're want to find a reason to be mad at the world, so you're angry. You have all these emotions that you're going through personally. Why is my hair still on the bed, Jesus, and I'm up? You know, every time you touch it, it's falling out. Your fingernails fall off. Your toenails fall off. All kind of things happen to you while you're going through chemo, and I think it was making me mad.
Right.
But at the same time, all of these things were making me mad. You do have just this random person that's saying, hey, I got you. Hey, I ordered Boston Market. I'm dropping it off at your house for you and your granddad because I know you can't cook today. So it was love being shown from everywhere. But it's just that internal anger that you are feeling because you're going through all this stuff.
You can't shake it sometimes.
Right? I'm mad because my lashes was long at first and now they're gone. It was just so much different stuff that was making me upset. And I'm a prissy chick and I like to wear heels and everything. And I couldn't because my toenails was falling off. Chemo kills every fast growing cell. That's why your hair falls off. Your hair grows every day. Your fingernails grow every day. And I was just kind of, everything was just falling apart. You looking down and your toenail is just a bloody nail bed because your toes are falling off. I mean, not your toes, your toenails. So it was so many things making you angry, but it was like an equal amount of love being thrown back at you to get you out of that little spell that you were going through.
So what do y'all tell somebody who says, I'm too young, this can't happen to me? Like, what?
Nobody is exempt.
It happens to
from
infants.
The trials and tribulations of life.
St. Jude is full of infants with cancer and all kind of other stuff. Infants.
Yeah,
it happens to children.
Cancer. Yeah.
It may not necessarily be breast cancer, but it's some kind of cancer. It happens to
nobody
everybody.
is exempt from the trials and tribulations of life. I seen that on, remember Martin, that movie a long time ago. It's just stuck with me because no matter what you're going through, nobody is exempt.
But I think it's a blessing for you not to be alone. And I say that to say that in 2016, my stepfather, his sister died of brain cancer and they found her alone. She had been alone for days. And then the worst part though, a couple months later, he had already been diagnosed with throat cancer. He was going through his chemotherapy and all this stuff. He ended up having like a tear in his intestine, but with all everything going on, they couldn't do anything about it due to the fact that his immune system, and he ended up just passing away.
Wow.
And for me, that was scary because last year I had a brush with cancer, and I remember everyone. That's actually, I got closer with certain people, even my ex-husband's mom. That was like the first person that showed up. But all I kept thinking about, because I'm divorced, is like, I don't want to be that lady that's like, I die alone. Like that was like my ex-husband on the phone, like, you gonna be okay. You don't know. Like, ah. And it was like, I quit my job, so I didn't have insurance. Like, I just quit my job. Like, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. It was like, oh, by the way, we did some tests on you 4 months ago. We couldn't find your information. Sorry, you need to have surgery as soon as possible. Oh, I don't have insurance. Then I got insurance. And then it's like, well, now you got to wait the 30 days. Then actually we're changing insurance providers. So now you got to wait another 30 days.
Wow.
And then it was like, and then after I had the surgery, I got laid off. But then it was like, I had to remind myself that I was blessed to be able to, they took care of the surgery. That was like, so it was like, as much as I was pissed off at life, it was like, I was able to get insurance. Most people can, like, and then never be in that situation. I've never had to run. I never need insurance. Also come from a military family, was married, and I always worked, so I always had insurance up until that moment when I really needed it the most. And I remember I just kept like thinking about them and it's like, oh my God, like what's gonna happen kind of thing. And so I feel like life just be happening to you, you know what I mean? So it's like you almost have to take the good with the bad and just just keep pushing.
The whole insurance thing was a scary moment for me too. Always had a job, kind of always been in the healthcare for the past 8-9 years, and my company started laying off. I wasn't technically originally supposed to be part of the layoff. They did their layoffs and everything, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. Plus, I need this job right now because these benefits are crucial to my life. I'm on chemo.
Right.
And they did another round of layoffs, and there was a box on my desk.
Wow.
I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do without a job and insurance?
And they can lay you off during those times. There's no type of
Did you have the
legal-
ability to be on? I think if you're on disability, you could have wrote it out, like possibly, because even too that was something. Someone's like, well, why didn't you just go on short-term disability? But one, I know these fools gonna lay me off, and
That part.
and I was already taking a
Right.
pay cut
And then the
anyway. So I'm like,
pay
I
is
need all
lower
this
when
money.
you're on short-term
I'm like, I
disability.
need all this money anyways, as
Right.
it is, and then your copay high as hell. They like, well,
That's what I was saying earlier when she was speaking on it. Every visit you go to is a specialty visit, so you can't go in here and pay the little $10 or $20
oh no, that's like
copay.
anywhere $125.
Yes,
It could be
you
like I
are
said, it
in
was
the
like
triple
2,000
digits. You're
for one.
paying for this, and then okay, your only option is Cobra, and Cobra is like $700-800.
Billions of dollars.
That's
You're like,
too
so
much money.
yeah, like,
And then you're not employed, so how your whole
So like, where am I
unemployment
getting
check,
my
if they give you
700?
one,
So
it's
yes,
going
you
to
can go to
Cobra.
Cobra. It's gonna be $545. I'm like, what? Like,
545 was great.
yeah,
My 800 and something that I was like, you gotta be kidding me! I can't afford this without a job. And then at the same time, you are somebody's mom. So I got my human bill over here too, who wants to go on field trips, who wants
Right.
to still participate in stuff in school. You
Who
need
want to
school
go to
supplies.
Fright Fest?
and even
Mine
too,
too.
and then I feel like too, your kids keep you strong in that sense because oftentimes too, you really don't
Her
have time for a
daughter's
pity
in the
party.
in the
You're like, shit, I ain't got
waiting
time.
area,
I gotta keep moving. Like, I don't have time to
Right.
be too upset. Like I got 20 minutes. Like, I got
You
20
know,
minutes to
You
cry.
can't afford.
Yeah, you're like, I got 20 minutes to cry. Then I
to-
gotta get back on this game.
To be
But-
sick, to be
Your
sad. That's a
kids
black
feed
woman's
off
greatest
of your
thing.
energy. Your kids pick up on your vibe, and that was my thing when I was going through it. I didn't want her to just see me down all the time, so I made it a promise to myself. I'm not gonna be down. I'm good. I'm good. You get up every day. Oh, you good?
I salute you, Queen. I really do.
Thank you.
And just hearing your story just make me feel like what I went through.
Y'all was supposed to
Miko,
be here
did you
today.
share
Look
the
for each other.
pictures?
Like, y'all was supposed to be here today together.
Karen, I've been all engaged.
No, you're like, did you ain't did shit.
I ain't did nothing but listen.
So I want Miko to share the pictures. And it's so crazy. Kavaca and LaQuisha went to Lincoln. Y'all know I love my high school.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have had life and lived life after high school, but those of us who attended Lincoln High School, it's just a sense of pride and family
Yeah,
about us.
yeah,
Kinda like a
absolutely.
sister.
Right, exactly. So,
Absolutely.
another one of our Lincoln sisters, Tiffany Jackson, former WNBA player, she also had a battle with breast cancer. She's still balling and living life, so she wasn't able to make it tonight. But definitely, just want to just salute all breast cancer survivors.
Yes.
Definitely want to salute my sister in Hoop. She was in her 20s when she was diagnosed, and you see she had to cut her hair off. And I mean, her story and her journey is amazing as well. And just to see her actually return back to basketball, not just on the sidelines, but actually competing in the game of basketball after being diagnosed. I just, thought that was just amazing. And it just talks about the strength of women, as, us as Black women. Our two guests being moms, still working, everything that they've experienced, they just kept going. And I think that's just a big testament of who we are as women.
A culture.
As a culture,
Culture.
definitely.
It's like beautiful, and then simultaneously I hate it. Because
Right.
We
so we
don't
always
have a
have to be so
choice.
strong.
We don't have a choice.
Like I only want to be referred to as strong when I'm at the gym,
Right.
like in real life. Like, but it's our call. Like, yeah, well, just suck it up. You'll be up.
Poor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were supposed to get into our what now topics, but producer Miko, can we not?
Well, we are moving.
But we do need to tell y'all, because we came upon our hour, and I think we had good meat tonight. You know, I don't feel like we need to throw anything else in with the what now topics that we usually talk about. So I mentioned at the beginning of the show, but so we were gonna discuss the Greenville, Texas shooting, and the Texas A&M Commerce homecoming after party. They have a suspect, Brandon. What's his name? Brandon Gonzalez. And there's a lot of conspiracy as always because we got our Facebook investigators on the job. I don't understand if y'all such investigators, why don't y'all? They don't never apply for jobs in the criminal justice system.
But I feel like even with that, it's a plus and a delta. And I'll say I used to be too, like, y'all don't get over just making up. But then if it was my kid that got killed or whatever, like, I want everybody. I don't give it. Like, I want everybody. Like, we burning this block down. We all. So it's like when I say, like, please don't make up shit. But then it's like, but please keep trying to fight for me if I'm not here or I'm a victim. Like, that's my child. Like, I want to know everyone's concern for trying to figure it out. Yeah.
I didn't like how they made it as if the kids that were there at the party were going on the code of no snitching. No,
exactly.
They were running for their lives. They were trying to get the hell out of Dodge. They weren't trying to look and see, oh, let me see his eye color, his hair color. Like, and let me, let me see if I know him from Facebook.
But
no, they were trying to get out of there.
Didn't they have a
they have someone in custody right now who is allegedly the shooter and has been charged with capital murder. However, I guess we are going to get into the conversation. But he's saying they're saying that it was like a costume party. Mm-hmm. So he's saying, yes, I did have on a bulletproof vest, but it wasn't real. I was dressed, in costume.
He was kind of heavy, though. I couldn't see his ass just running away that quickly.
But he said at the time of the shooting, he was in his car. He has witnesses.
Yeah,
and I think he had like a live video or something like that to support it. So, I mean, details are still coming out in regards to that shooting. I mean, condolences to the families that lost children. I think there was a father, Kevin Berry. I hated how they had to throw in the story about how he didn't graduate from high school and all of that.
Right.
What was the purpose
they always
demonize the victim. You ready to beat the news for it? Like, first of all, man, we're gonna stick to the story.
Right. Let's talk about
out here with his friends. He was spending time doing what he enjoyed doing.
He dropped his kids off at their mom's, and then he was just like, "Okay, I'm gonna stop at the party," and
then let them actually find the killer and he'd be right. They're like, well, after he was dancing at the party, listen to his favorite song.
It was some other guy that I saw that was supposed to be the shooter. He was a Caucasian guy. And he was supposed to have posted on his Instagram or somehow he
allegedly.
Allegedly. But this is what I saw. That he supposedly professed how he loved Hitler and stuff like that. That it was supposed to be like him saying that he was gonna do it for like his, Caucasian culture.
His culture. He's
like, I'm doing it for my right wing,
right culture.
He was a white guy.
Really weird. And then I researched that because that was going around the internet. But I think that the guy that they put out was a similar guy that they put out on other occasions when there's been a mass shooting. And I think that that's just to stir up or to keep like that whole idea that Caucasian Americans.
Yeah, Pamela just said that's fake. He pops up.
Yeah, he posts up. He pops up every time.
But I mean, they
do incident. But I just like you said, which I think we should touch on even more. I don't like how the news reporters said that the kids don't want to say who it was.
Right.
It was almost like they were trying to keep this whole idea that black kids
don't want to trying to go by code and not
no
snitching
or anything.
Like this ain't the
street. But the thing is, officers were there according to the same news stories, and they were inside, and they're the ones who were trained to identify. So
But they don't know.
exactly.
So why are we talking about the kids not knowing
Exactly.
the officers don't
exactly. And that was my whole question and concern is, okay, you're expecting frightened teenagers who just went to party and have a good time to say, wait a minute, but I have to identify this person.
So let me stop. While there is a potential chance that I could be shot and killed.
Exactly.
Oh, there he is. He got on a black shirt. Let's snap picture. While dodging bullets.
And I'm gonna tell y'all right now,
that's like immediate PTSD.
We're gonna run. That's what we're doing.
If it was my son, if it's Darren, he gonna be like, let me get my ass to this dorm before my mama beat my ass. Right? Because I should have been at this party no how. I didn't have my location cut on because my child knows when he's in college, but had that location cut on. When you go to a party, cut your location on. Because, I mean, it's too much going on.
One of my co-workers' daughters was one of the children that was injured in the incident. And she received a gunshot wound to her head.
And it went in and out.
But it went in and out. And luckily, she was able to be released and she didn't receive any type of, brain or
that
injury
is just
or something like
great.
that. But I know so many people because, Commerce is one of the schools that everybody from Dallas end up going to. So it was so many people on our timelines that were either there or
really
their children
scary.
were there.
Middle of the night, you sleep, your kid is away in college, you hauling ass that 45 minutes to an hour drive turns into 30 minutes, literally, because you're trying to get to your child, find your child. And I think a lot of kids, they weren't able to reach their parents because I think kids' batteries died on their phones, stuff like that. So it's just, it's tragic. One of the things that we continue to see, especially with the recent school threats at Duncanville, at Lancaster High School, and kudos to Duncanville and Lancaster High School for making the public aware of those threats, unlike Richardson ISD, who likes to keep threats under wraps and not, address the news media and parents and families in a timely fashion, which I'm still pissed off about. But, there's just this lack in regard for life. That, I think that's, the main problem in the world that we're living in. And I don't think it's just because things are being more exposed because of social media. I think that we really do live in a world where there's no regard for human life anymore. And I think that's scary. You don't want to be scared. They are desensitized because I was pissed off about the sharing of the videos of, the kids who had gotten shot and stuff like that. I'm like, nobody wants to look on social media and see their loved one like that, dead or injured and looking like they're possibly, dead. So wait, what did you say, Pamela? Pamela said that something similar happened when she was a student at Commerce as well. So our thoughts are, I don't want to say our thoughts and prayers. That's what they say every time we're shooting.
I don't know what to say anymore at all, period.
Because I hate that saying. My thoughts are, we need to be, more concerned with human life. And where's the NRA? What statements are they making? They never make any statements.
Not when it has to do with it.
Yeah, when it involves Black people. Now, in Commerce, not even considered, a Black school, but since they made sure, in Commerce, made sure to tell us that was not a school-sanctioned party, and it was way in Greenville. Commerce disassociated themselves very quickly from the students who pay tuition at their campus. Shame on you, Commerce. Well, they still, said our thoughts and, our students. But they made sure they made it clear this is not a school-sanctioned party, and it was actually in Greenville.
As if they would have did something different, because I went to Commerce parties when I was in college, and I'm pretty sure it was one or two officers or security guards there. It wasn't any much more.
Well, some showed up.
There wasn't much more security there than I.
It was over 700 kids at that party, and that was a little bitty building that they were in.
The parties that I went to in college were small buildings with a lot of kids.
Well, y'all know I'm a homebody.
But,
Pretty
you
much
know,
all
they like to separate. I understand what they're doing. They don't want kids to stop enrolling in their school and stop going there. So I understand that completely. But I just hate the way that people try to separate themselves from the community when they really need to be more inclusive and say,
are you talking about PWIs separating themselves from primary white institutions, separating themselves from their African American students?
Yes.
And that's why I sent mine to HBCU, because
that's exactly what I'm saying.
that doesn't make sense, because you're taking their dollars, though.
Yeah.
So next on our what now, we have Summer Walker and her hoe bath. Oh, I'm sorry, the baby's in the other room, but she's a teenager, so she said, she basically says, y'all see her little hoe bath kid on the picture? Is the picture up there? That is her kid.
Girl,
Do y'all see the Huggies baby's wipes?
Is that what she bathed with?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I read the article. I didn't
So,
know what to say.
Let me see if I can.
Somebody like you.
I saw somebody.
Y'all do know she was in concert in Dallas the other day. My niece posted, "How was the Summer Walker concert?" I said, "Musty." That's how it was. So,
Wow.
Who is Summer Walker? Like,
She's
I
the-
just
she's
learned
the
about her
Girls
on
Need Love.
Facebook.
yeah, and
You
so
heard that
now
before?
I understand why
I
she
think
needs
so.
love, because she
Girl, why listen
musty,
to that? Then she like,
and ain't
yeah.
nobody trying to show her no love, because she
Now she just gave up. I'm just gonna get a
Wash
thug.
yourself.
I was listening to the lyrics like, that ain't gonna work out.
She wiping
Like,
out
no.
her back.
Even thugs like them clean, Summer. Wash yourself.
Thugs like women in the shower too.
Wash yourself. No, you gotta say it the grandma way, because that's what she needs. She don't need to just wash off. She needs to
Where did
wash
she make
off.
this statement at?
On social media,
And then they
the
showed a
basket,
video of her taking her makeup off. I seen this video of her
ew,
taking her, and she was using her saliva to wipe the makeup. Like she was licking the thing, then wiping.
like
the
she
thing,
was
then
a
wiping.
dog. Girl, you are not a dog.
And having a whole conversation like that was just okay.
So now her face smell like spit.
Right. And that's
I
why
wanna
she
be a
got
part
the
of
song,
this.
Girls Need Love Too.
Now
Because
I'm like,
nobody's
I
trying
like
to
your
kiss
music,
her
but I
and
don't
smell
know.
her breath.
I'm like, nah, I'm trying to separate the artist from the music and shit.
And look,
R.
this,
Kelly,
the
artist from the
picture,
act.
nah, I can't. Well,
Oh,
moving right along on her. So yeah, she was basically, she had posted her kit, and on the picture it says something on it. I can't see it good.
It was like her wash.
Summer Walker revealed she hates
No, but what does it say on that
taking-
little picture right
That's
there?
what I was reading. Summer
No, the
Walker
caption in
revealed
between.
she hates taking
A lot of baby oil.
caption
gel,
on
though.
the page.
Now, y'all, I'll help me.
My
I got the picture in my phone. My washing bowl. LOL. I get to wash in my
I
bowl.
hate
I hate
showers.
showers. That's what she said. So
How you even hate showers?
now someone said that
Shit,
she
if I
did
shower and
say
don't brush my teeth, I still feel dirty. Like, I need to brush
hygiene
your
is
teeth again.
important. You need
I need that
brushing your
fresh-
teeth, washing your face, washing your bottom, your ass is important. Especially as a woman. It's like Mr. Brown's brother said when he was talking about all the men that they daddy had. Nasty.
But her mama should have talked
That's
about
how I
that.
feel about it. That's nasty.
Well,
to
Her
me.
her
mama probably talked
But
like she
so
just
she did
went
come
up
back and
around.
try to clear it up and say that she takes baths, but she don't like showers, which is still nasty.
I'm like,
Because
you're
you
supposed to
sit in
shower
your
after
dirt.
the
So you're
bath.
supposed
Like,
to
should
shower
take
after the bath.
baths.
No, but you still gotta rinse off in the shower.
I kind of feel like bath's nasty, but if I'm gonna take a bath, I take a
You
shower.
feel like baths?
Cause I'm
Baths
sitting
is
in
really
my
to
dirt.
soak and relax
Yeah.
and to get you know you can
I
use
take
your
baths
bath
and
salts.
showers.
Yeah, so
Now I
you,
do
if you
both.
take a
But I
bath,
don't take them at the same time.
No, after I take
Well,
my bath,
after I take
a
bath,
shower
then
to
you
rinse
gotta
off.
rinse
You
off.
get in the shower after you take a bath?
You let the water drain out and then you rinse off the dirt.
You do
off
it every
of
Never
time?
you.
did that
Yes.
before, ever in life.
I ain't never did that.
because I used to think just sitting in
It's
my dirt is
logical.
gross.
but
I don't-
I've never-
yeah,
I mean, I
I
understand what
think
she's
that.
saying, but sometimes I let the water
And it-
run in the bathtub and I'll take the washcloth and rinse myself off. But I feel like a bath, if you took a bath, I would feel better about you taking this little bucket bath than you.
But no, she
You know.
came back after the backlash on the bowl. It's a bowl bath.
bowl bath.
Like she got the Dr. Till. She got a
She
whole
got
lot of
Huggies.
No,
stuff.
I don't know, but I feel like
Huggies
even in the
wipes.
bathtub, if the water's there, even if I'm washing,
The dirt.
my soap ain't really doing what it need to do. If it's underwater, I need to So I'm bathing just for relaxation or whatever, or soaking.
I
Then I get up, wash really wash myself, then rinse. Like,
I feel happy when I do those things.
But I'll be happy if you take a shower or a bath. You know,
she like, you just pick
but
one.
not a bowl.
Just wash your ass.
She like, just wash your ass.
gotta
Like,
be
there's
both.
2 methodologies, and not in the sink, bitch. Not in the sink.
and not in a bowl.
In the bowl. With a
She
huggy
takes
wipe.
whole baths to a whole
That's how I was
nother
like,
level.
yeah, that was like a whole different. That's a portable whole bath. When you gotta go, it's a mobile whole bath.
It's horrible.
That's a
Pick
prostitute
it up and
pack.
take it
It's
with
Yeah, it is.
horrible.
But somebody like it.
Horrible.
Somebody likes it.
No, that's why she's singing about girls need love, because ain't nobody liking it. They're not.
Yeah, her
feeling it.
album is very liberal. Like I was just like, yeah, you trying to get
No,
something like
that's why she's talking about girls need love too, because ain't nobody.
But then in
hollering
that
at
other
her.
song, that's probably why she like, I didn't ask for Gucci to take you. She was like, bitch, I ain't taking your stinking ass nowhere.
I can't take you to the Gucci store because you smell like.
Like, she like, I
onions.
wasn't
You can't try
asking you
nothing
for
else.
Gucci or this or that. So I just want to spend time with you and go when you
This
take me out. He like, cause you stink. I'm like, oh.
She don't understand, but hopefully.
She like, but I like that.
I hope somebody
But
shares
hopefully.
30-some podcasts. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Y'all, somebody text Summer Walker. We gonna give her tips to get love and to spend time with that man she been singing about. We know all the solutions to your problem. You got to get rid of that bath bowl.
Stench.
And rinse it out.
Rinse it out.
See, look at her face in the picture. Put the picture back up
Okay,
there for
let me
everybody to
put the
see.
picture
Even
back.
she looking like, ooh, this smell like some shit.
She got the
She know, but her no. Look at her face. Turn up like,
That's me. No, you like that's that
Okay, so
Oh, horrible. Okay, we're moving, everybody.
yeah, we are moving.
We're
Let me
moving.
put that up on. Let me put
So
our
there
picture
will
up.
be no show in November. Hey JoJo, no show in November.
Let me find our picture.
You just it was there it
Oh,
is.
there it is.
Oh look, we keep winning a box.
Yeah, because we packing our ass up and moving.
So we will be moving the studio, thankfully, because Lord, it's a long drive out here out of town to Arlington, Texas. So we will be moving. No show in November. We'll
back to the city lights. You see the city at the bottom?
Oh, is that Dallas?
That's
So, but we will kind of still touch bases
Yeah,
with you guys on
we'll check
social
in.
media and be ready to tune in December.
Or 20.
Not 2020, that's a long
Oh,
time.
okay.
Okay, in
But,
December.
we'll let
tune
y'all know.
in
Just
December.
Expect the call. No.
Right. Okay, and then the last What Now topic before we end tonight. I am so happy, and hopefully other college athletes get reparations
yes.
for this. But the NCAA made a unanimous decision for college athletes to use their likeness and their image and to get paid for their likeness and image being used in college sales. Why you say
So you know that so after they came out with that, there was a senator, I forgot which state he's in, but now he's trying to propose a bill to find a way to tax them for their scholarships along with
Well,
the
it'll
money
be
that we-
considered
So
income.
it's a-
but I don't feel like it. But in essence,
You
I
don't
just
feel
feel
like
like
it should be taxed?
like let them make these schools are making billions
No,
of
man,
dollars. Like
billions.
it's a whole nother slave industry.
But they
is.
always...
And then you always try. It's like you almost give them something, then find a way to take it from them. Like,
well, and that's because
now
the majority of college athletes
Right.
are African American. So of course
they
Mr.
know who they
Senator-
taking from. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, Mr.
But I'm gonna
Senator
celebrate-
wants to.
I'm going to celebrate the money that's
Yeah.
going to be coming into the
I'm
community.
happy for the college athletes, like my nephew, who is a college athlete at OSU. Plug. I'm happy for him, no,
Right.
for real, because I think that it's only right and fair. Just a free education does not compensate them for
All
the
the
money
money
that
that's
they
being
bring into those colleges.
Exactly.
Because not only do they bring in money from ticket sales, jersey sales, they also bring in money for the students who just want to associate themselves as a student at that prestigious college that's known for XYZ sports because of the athletes that they're bringing in. So I think it's only right and
But you
fair.
are
Those
so right,
games.
Kavaca, what you said.
Yeah,
They
moved the
keep
finish line.
moving. the finish line. Every
time
time
we
they
find
tell
a
us
way
that,
to win,
okay, we're gonna
Oh,
give you this,
Richard
they
Burr.
move the finish line a little further.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
what I'm
think
saying.
you won, but you really ain't.
So
won
Richard
one.
Burr, if college athletes are going to make money off of their likenesses while in school, their scholarships should be treated like income. I'll be introducing legislation
The
that's
scholarships?
yeah. I'll be introducing legislation that subjects scholarships given to athletes who
He's
choose
a hater.
to cash in to income taxes.
I don't think the
But
scholarship,
then here's the
maybe
thing,
the money
you're-
that they made.
But he's
No.
also
like,
going to basically say, but he's going to use, but that's a form of income in essence. If I no different than if I receive a gift, or let's say I'm on some TV show, Oprah gives me a car, I have to pay taxes on that. So what he's saying is, hey, okay, we're going to give you the money, but now you need to pay taxes on that money that we paid for your school, which is bullshit. And goes back to
He's a hater.
moving the fucking mark, which like
What's his name? Richard what? Richard Hater.
Richard Burr, Senator Burr.
Richard Burr.
Gonna make some
I
protest
found his ass on
music about
Twitter.
him.
Richard Burr
Fuck
is
Richard
a hater.
Burr.
fuck that. Like, okay.
But
But no, that is made me angry. I'm like,
And it, I mean, it just goes to show that we are always going to be the most hated on.
and then knowing him, he probably a damn Republican, but you supposed to be anti-tax.
Right, and then but the 1% is getting all the tax cuts.
and business.
And yeah, business owners, but not the small business owners. Let's be clear on that.
Not even small business owners, because now you're writing everything off. The reason why it benefits you or business owner is because your revenue or your income doesn't count till after you pay all your bills. So imagine if I bought everything and then I reinvested. Well, now I made no money.
Right.
Now I get a tax break, and that's
Now
how
I don't
even
pay taxes
Amazon.
on
So
anything.
now and going back to that legislation benefit anybody that just has
So-
a business.
I need to start a business.
Be a notary or something, just
Anything.
and then you write your car off and everything else.
Yeah. This car is for the business.
So this is the North Carolina senator, in fact.
Oh, North Carolina, you guys need to go protest y'all senator for his
I wonder what the
haters.
comments
So
are.
wait, let's see what our comments are before we leave. We're gonna read a couple. Well, Leo Carter, our top fan, because I like to acknowledge top fans. He says they should get paid, especially if they're making money for the school. That's what tempts them to receive money or gifts from agents or outside people. I agree. I mean, because a lot of these college students, they are coming in with nothing, besides their scholarship. And so making money, like, they do need the money. They don't have nothing outside of their scholarship. It's not like they came in with a silver spoon and then the scholarship is like a added bonus to
Right.
what mom and dad is already doing.
Like these wealthy
Or having a kid in college
Going back
is
to
wealthy
expensive.
children.
My
Going back
Cash
to
App
systemic
looks like
oppression.
help.
Help
Darren
me.
been like, look, he been shaking me down
I got
every.
$10, baby.
No, I'm not even gonna get into the amount of money I have sent him in the past 3 days. He be shaking me down, like.
Girl, I had somebody hit me up for $20, then get in my car talking about they hungry. Excuse me? Well, we had bought ice cream through Uber
No.
Eats, and then he messed up our order, so we didn't get to.
expensive.
Are you kidding me?
But then he still wants me to come.
Come.
He said, "Mama, are you coming to homecoming?" I said, "I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. You done shook me down all week for the money I was gonna, spend
Yeah,
then.
no.
Like, no, you might have a good time by yourself." Stanton says their scholarship will turn into income because they technically are working if they make money off their image. Okay, well no, I don't think their scholarship should turn into
I don't think the
income.
scholarship should.
Because an academic scholarship doesn't get turned into income when a student is still working outside of their academic scholarship. So I don't think that a scholarship in any form, athletic or academic, should be turned into income.
No.
If they want to turn income out of the money that they make off of their
I understand
image,
that a
and
little
then
more.
they are contracted and they get a
But aren't these
1099,
schools-
that's totally
Aren't
different.
these schools nonprofit? Do these schools pay taxes on their money? The NFL don't even pay taxes. It's like it's
Uncle
a
Tom
fucking
called him
foolery.
Little Richard. He said he sucks, Little Richard. That was a good one, Uncle Tom. I like that one. Okay, so guys, that has been our show.
Yes, we thank you guys.
Thank you. we don't have no gifts because we're not good hosts at all. But I do have this Sam's purified water for y'all. No.
But you all were a
thank
gift.
y'all so much. Yeah, y'all were a gift to our viewers, to us, definitely to Miko over there. Boy, Miko, she's sensitivity. Ralph Tresman, she got tears. I was trying not to look over there at her. So if y'all saw me moving and turning, it was because she was getting emotional. Real Carl Thomas like. But thank you guys for tuning in this season. Thank you guys for being with us. So again, no show November. We will see y'all in December. We have some planning to do, and we will let y'all in on those plans very soon. Have a great night, and see y'all on social media.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Are we off?
This
Just a
bastard
minute.
in a minute.